The socks for today are my heel toe do-si-do, a pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. They are ideal for self-striping yarn. The pattern part only happens on the front leg. The back leg is just plain stockinette, which makes it super fast. And the pattern is very easy to memorize. So these just, well, if you knit on them continuously, they fly off the needles. I started these on July 6, 2021, but they went into hibernation for a very long time because I finished them on April 4, 2022. I used Opal Beauty yarn in the colorway Silberstar der Alpen. Good afternoon. This smells nice. I'm going to have my tea now. This is today's tea, and the label says, tomorrow has to become today to deal with it. You don't have to bother. Okay. To deal with it. Well, since we have to deal with stuff, I can give today's quote to think about. Because today's quote is knitting, because adulting is hard. Do you agree? I have those days that I think, and then knitting is so nice. One day is harder than the other. But to be able to sit and knit and just tune out of troubles or worries, that is so nice. So nice. This is way too hot to drink now. In today's advent calendar, there was also this pretty pumpkin orange skein. And in Wool Hobbies Advent, for those of you who purchased one, there was this stitch marker. And this is a handy tool for if you can't read your knitting very well yet, or if you are working with very fuzzy or dark yarn, very fluffy or dark yarn. Fluffy yarn is fuzzy. And you can't read your knitting very well. If you put it on the needle with this side and you come across it and you see the red bead, then you don't have to do your increase or decrease or special whatever. If you pass it, you pick this ring up with your right hand needle so that it is like this on the needle, and then in the next round when you pass it again, you know that you have to do an increase, decrease, whatever. This is made by Miek from steekmarkeerders.nl, but it is a really nice tool to have in your knitting toolbox. And she sent me several of these in all a little different way. For example, one where the middle ring was missing, but then it was hard to pick up the other end with your right hand needle. So hence I chose this way of the increase, decrease, yes, no. Okay, so we've had the quote. Let's show a little knitting. Yesterday I did a few rounds on my muscle burrow. Here is my Apollo stitch marker. This is the stitch marker to see if I made any progress. And I did, so I'm going to move it up now. So that it's there for when I knit it on this one again. And I also crocheted a little on my blankets. Just 1, 2, 3 rows, and I'm in the middle of the last row. So I'm going to move this upward as well, so that when I worked on this, I can show it again to you. Stitch marker is now up here. This is my little Santa. I think most of my works in progress have Christmassy stitch markers by now. Oh, and I forgot to grab some stuff out of the bag, but I showed you the guirlande with the reindeer at the beginning. And that came with this card, a Get Well Soon and Christmas card all in one. And this is from Return to Sender. I don't know if they have an English website, but this is made by women from Nepal, and they make it from special paper from the Lokta plant from the Himalaya. And the income they generate with this is used to give education to young women. So that is a very nice and thoughtful Christmas wish. The other thing I've been working on is my bits and bobs sample. This is the back. It is reversible, but somehow I can indicate what is the front and the back right away. And this sample is filled with mistakes because I am planning on using this for my temperature blanket 2025, but I want to know what I'm getting myself into. I want to know if I can fix mistakes by swatching this. I know that the foundation needs to be on a bigger needle, and the first row after that I will change to 4mm US 6, I believe. Yes, because this gives me the fabric I like. I am trying out different ways of I-cord and side stitches. I have been dropping stitches to see if I can pick them up again. To be honest, fixing a mistake in this blanket is not easy. The best way is to not make any mistakes, but if only that were the case. But I think even brioche knitting, fixing brioche knitting is way easier than this. And I'm knitting with yarn held double, so there are a lot of strands when you have to fix something. I just told in the Dutch vlog that on a later day and time I will spend the Vlogmas episode talking about my temperature blanket for 2025, because if you would like to try it and knit along, then I shouldn't wait too long, because you would need the time to prep as well, right? I'm going to move the stitch marker up so that if I am working on this again, I can show it to you. I do really like the fabric that this gives. Yeah, it made me think of luxurious blankets from an expensive warehouse. I am going to use 2 strands, but one of the strands will always be undyed. So all the other colors I'm going to use will be toned down because they are always combined with a natural yarn. I still need to gather all my yarns and decide which color is going into which temperature, but later on I will take you along in those decisions. So I have a favorite for you as well today, and while I was talking about handy tools and fixer stitches earlier, there's one other tool I really like to use, and I use it daily, and that is KnitCompanion. In KnitCompanion, you can put your PDF in there. You can cut out your knitting chart, and then, for example, you can determine all the knit stitches in your chart, for example. And then you can have it count out how many stitches there are in a row. So that way KnitCompanion tells you knit 8, knit 4, and you don't have to count all the squares. I also like to color code some stitches, and I did that in the beginning because when I could not read my knitting very well yet, and when I was having trouble thinking about whether a cable should cross left or right, I would make all the right crosses red and all the left crosses lilac. And that way I could easily determine which way I was going to cross the cable. The funny thing is that you do learn over time, because I would never think of color coding my cables nowadays. But it really helped me when I was a beginning knitter, and that is something that can be done very easily in KnitCompanion, because you can indicate the right crossed cable, use the magic wand tool, and it will automatically find all the right crossed cables, and you can change the color. It's as easy as that. That is, by the way, only in the paid version of KnitCompanion. It does not, it's not included in the free version. But KnitCompanion, a yearly subscription, is hands down my best money spent each year. So let me know in the comments, are you a user of KnitCompanion, or do you like to print out your patterns, which is also okay? Or is there another tool that you use? Yesterday I talked about Ravelry. That is very handy to keep track of your projects, and when you started them, that you can put that in KnitCompanion also. But Ravelry makes it fun because it's like a social platform, and KnitCompanion is something that you use for yourself. So just let me know. I think that's it for today. I always think it's going to be such a short one. The Dutch vlogs are really long. I don't think I've had one under 30 minutes. And well, this one is just now 13 minutes and just a little before and a little after. So, but that's okay. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoy what you do, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.